Sharon, is this some kind of joke? You're getting married? Seriously? Who's the groom? His specs are lower than my husband, right? I will not be happy if he's better looking or makes more money than my Frank. If it turns out he is, I'll do everything in my power to make sure your wedding never happens. Hey, are you listening to me? Tell me who he is now. Sharon, hello? Answer me, for crying out loud. God, Clarissa, would you stop it already? The notifications are driving me crazy. What the hell do my husband's specs have to do with you? You talk about him like he's a frickin' car. Jeez. They have everything to do with me. I put a lot of effort into finding and bagging myself a handsome guy who makes a lot of money. It's not fair if you get to marry someone better and I won't have it. How can you not understand this? It's called basic common sense and decency. I'm not asking you to celebrate for us if you're opposed to the wedding. That's your proclivity and it has nothing to do with me. Oh my God, is it true? Is he really a better catch than my husband? I'm guessing you messaged me after seeing my Facebook? His page is linked in a lot of my posts, so if you took a proper look, I'm sure you'd understand. Huh? Understand what? Oh my God, what the hell is that photo? Bruce? Is this the same Bruce I'm thinking of? He's that porky little zit-riddled four-eyed nerd from our class. Actually, he's much taller than me now and his skin is cleared up nicely. I'll admit he looks better than I remember him, but something's not right here. I can't believe it, Sharon! My jaw almost hit the floor! Alright, so are we done now? There's no way he changed that much naturally. Admit it, he got plastic surgery to fix his busted face, didn't he? I bet he's wearing platform shoes to hide the fact he's a midget, too. No, that's just Bruce as he is. And seriously, is this any way to go talking about my fiancé? Cut it out already. I'm done talking to you. Bye. Yo, Sharon! I just arrived at the church. And I must say, there aren't many hot guys here. Most of them look like they work low-wage loser jobs, like store clerks or cops. I guess after how hard I worked to bag myself a high-rolling model-level stud, nothing is ever going to compare, but still, it's hilarious to get the occasional reminder of what a pathetic waste of space the average woman has to settle for. I've never seen such a sorry group of men. They're so mediocre their girlfriends will probably end up getting stolen by AI. I wonder who the best man in Bridesmaids are. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna be unimpressive losers with no public speaking ability, but I'm still kinda curious. Don't worry, at least with me being here, the atmosphere will improve a little due to my stunning good looks and beauty. Hey, why the hell did you kick me out? To think I was kind enough to give a performance and a speech and this is how you repay me? Why would you kick me out of the banquet hall? You're horrible. The whole hall was captivated by my wonderful performance, but you had to go and spoil it for everyone, huh? What was it, jealousy? Well, it ain't my fault. I'm more beautiful, gorgeous, and stunning than you'll ever be. I was born this way and I can't help it. Have you no shame? You can't have people kicked out of your wedding because they make you feel jealous, you small-minded bitch. God, anyone would think that we were still in high school. Sharon, you have your phone with you, right? You could at least reply to me after kicking me out of your wedding. Ugh. Oh my God, Sharon, are you like for real right now? I can't believe you block me like this after I went out of my way to show up at your frickin' wedding. Fine, have it your way. After seeing your husband, I must say, he's a lot hunkier than I expected. And it would suck to go home after coming out all this way. All right, that settles it. I'll wait until the banquet is over so I can rejoin you guys at the after party. Clarissa, what the hell was that little stunt you pulled in the banquet hall? I never asked you to perform for us, and I never asked you to give a speech. Also, my friend on reception told me that apparently after you walked in and saw everyone handing over their gifts, you burst out laughing and shouted, "Me? Give that ugly hoe a gift? No way!" in front of about 20 people. I'm not saying you're obligated to give me a gift, but you could have at least been respectful towards me given you were at my wedding. Oh, is the banquet over already? I bet the atmosphere fizzled out the moment I left the hall, right? There's no way a bunch of wet noodles like you guys have any idea how to party. That's why I decided to liven things up with my performance. Answer my damned question. Yeah, whatever. The performance and the speech, right? I just knew that I had to do something to liven the place up when I saw what a bunch of low-energy losers the guests were. Really? You should be thanking me. You know, there are lots of people who'd pay good money to have a beauty like me on center stage at their wedding. Oh, and one more thing. Quit being so damn materialistic with all this complaining about gifts. We're friends, so why should I have to give you anything? Geez, next thing you know, you'll be asking me for money. Excuse me? If anything, you should be paying me for the wonderful performance and speech I gave. That was what you call wonderful? Yep, and don't you just know it? You can't deny the entire hall was captivated by my good looks and mesmerizing charisma the moment I stepped up on stage. Your fiancé Bruce fell in love with me too, didn't he? Go on, you can admit it. I can assure you he most definitely didn't. And wow, Sharon, I must say, I thought Bruce was kinda dishy when I saw him in those pictures on Facebook, but he's even better in real life. How the hell did a worn-out old bag like you manage to snag yourself such a hunk? Don't get me wrong, he's nothing compared to my husband, but he's certainly not outside the scope of consideration for the guy I'd consider getting down and dirty with. If you catch my drift. Scope of consideration? God, you really do disgust me, Clarissa. Anyway, in return for my wonderful performance and speech, I'll be taking possession of your husband. Huh? If you're not going to pay me for my services, I'm happy to accept your man instead. Why would I give you Bruce? He's my husband. Relax, girl. It's not like I'm telling you to divorce him. You can just lend him to me every now and then when I need a good servicing, if you catch my drift. Lend him to you? Listen, Sharon, to tell you the truth, my husband Frank is, well, he has a lot of money and he's as handsome as they come. But when it comes to things between the sheets, he's a little underwhelming. It's starting to become a real source of anxiety for me. You must know what it's like when you're not satisfied in the bedroom, right, babe? So what? Why does that mean I should lend you my husband? Your underwhelming sex life isn't our problem. Quit being so stubborn, would ya? If you must know, I've actually been trying out a bunch of new guys recently. You know, to see if I can find one I'm compatible with. I was hoping you could let me give Bruce a test run. Are you insane? I'm obviously not lending you my husband for a test run. What is he, a freaking car? But why? Is this real life? Are you seriously asking me such a ridiculous, inappropriate question on my wedding day of all days? What's the problem? I'll only need him for like 15 minutes max? What is wrong with you? How is it possible that you think this is acceptable? Have you actually lost your mind? Hey, now that's just rude. Everyone does this kind of thing behind closed doors, you know. Actually, I'm pretty sure they don't. Actually, I guess a worn-out hag like you probably wouldn't get included, so it's no wonder that you don't know. I guess only stunners like me get offers regularly. Sorry for confusing you, sweetie. Anyway, the bottom line is your husband is hot, and I want to try him out, so be a darling and lend me him for a little while, okay? Just let me test him out for 15 minutes, and if it turns out we have no chemistry, you can have him back. Okay. Why the hell are you asking me this crap? Oh, you're right. I should be asking Bruce instead. Okay, so if he says yes, do you promise not to complain anymore? That's not what I meant. Anyway, forget Bruce. There's another guy here who wants to talk to you. You mean there's some other poor guy who was powerless to resist my stunning good looks and fell for me in the blink of an eye? Is he even more handsome than Bruce? Well, it's a matter of taste, but I have a feeling he'll be to your liking. Wow, really? Oh, now I'm excited. I take it you want to meet him then? Of course I do. All right, I'll introduce you later. Woohoo! Thanks, babe. First of all, you need to head to room 1502 of the hotel next to the church. Apparently that's where he'll be staying tonight. Okay, I see. This escalated quickly. I like when things move fast, if you catch my drift. But in return for arranging this meeting, I need you to promise to stay away from Bruce. Whoa there, don't get carried away, Sharon. I'll only agree to that if tonight's friend turns out to be my type. Alrighty, no time to waste. Off I go. Sharon, what the hell is this? Are you for real? Why was my husband waiting for me in room 1502? Clarissa, do you still have no idea of the gravity of what you did at mine and Bruce's wedding in the banquet hall? Huh? You mean my wonderful performance and speech that I gave you for free? Which part of that was wonderful? You stole the mic from my frickin' bridesmaid in the middle of her speech and started rambling about your stunning good looks. What the hell did anything you said have to do with my wedding? And more importantly, why did you think it was an acceptable thing to do in the first place? So it wasn't a traditional wedding speech, so what? The whole hall was so captivated they could barely take their eyes off me. Lord knows it was way more interesting than whatever that bimbo I took the mic off was babbling on about. Captivated? Sure, the whole hall might have been watching you, and in a sense, I guess they were captivated, but not in a good way. Everyone was astonished and disgusted by what you did. You don't know that. Oh, yes, I do, because they told me. Everyone in attendance was repulsed and embarrassed by your behavior. Huh? Quit lying, Sharon. Everyone knows my speech was way more interesting than your bridesmaid's. What the heck was she even talking about anyway? I swear I would have fallen asleep if I'd listened to her for 1 second longer. When you got done complimenting yourself, you launched into a hateful tirade against me, going on and on about how it was a miracle I found a husband and how I'd be lucky if he didn't leave me. Then, as if that wasn't outrageous enough, you were so arrogant and crass as to offer me your sloppy seconds if Bruce's performances in the bedroom weren't up to scratch. Is there even a single person on the planet who'd be pleased with a wedding speech like that? I felt like I was gonna vomit. Ugh, and don't even get me started on that song you sung. What the hell even was that? It was my favorite song, duh. Everyone knows that song is about breakups. Why would you sing it at my wedding? I don't know how, but for some reason I made it to the end of your speech without having you thrown out on your ass. But I lost it when you started singing. I had no choice but to ask security to remove you from the premises. We already had a musician booked, and it most certainly wasn't you. Huh? You did? I didn't know that. I'm just grateful that guy managed to distract everyone as you were being thrown out and bring back a sense of normality to the whole thing. But that doesn't change the fact that you almost ruined my wedding. That's nice, Sharon, but I don't see how any of this has anything to do with my husband. I was so looking forward to getting to that hotel room and finding out what kind of hunky stallion I'd be spending the night with. But when I opened the door, my frickin' husband was sitting there. You had no right to trick me like that. Based on what you're saying, I'm guessing you had no idea who the guy who grabbed the mic off you was when you pulled your crazy little stunt, huh? Maybe you couldn't hear his calls of, "We must not let this wedding be ruined by the selfish actions of one individual," amidst the chaos of being restrained and carried across the hall by 2 security guards. First of all, he didn't grab the mic off me. I handed it over willingly when I saw him marching over with that angry look on his face. As for who he is, isn't he your relative or something? I think he got introduced to me earlier on, but I wasn't paying attention. But seriously, who cares? He's my uncle. Wow, big deal. Am I supposed to be shocked or something? The way you were building up to it, I thought you were going to say he was an FBI agent. Actually, you probably should care. Because it just so happens that my uncle is the CEO of your husband's company. What? Not only that, but your husband also owes him a huge debt of gratitude for helping him get a job there a few years back. Apparently, he heard you showed up from one of the other guests, and with that, he rushed over in a panic. I guess he had a feeling you'd be up to no good. Of course, he apologized profusely for what you did. Huh? Oh, and he saw your messages asking me to lend you my husband, too? No way. Are you kidding me? Why would you show him those? Naturally, that means he saw you complaining about your husband not doing enough to satisfy you in the bedroom. Seriously? Yep, so that's where things stand for you right about now. Oh my god, does this mean Frank's going to find out about what I said about him? But I'm not ready to tell him yet. I was supposed to find someone better first. You're evil. Sharon, please, you have to undo this. Won't you help me somehow? You made your bed. Now lie in it. If you want to get out of this mess, you need to do it by yourself. You make it sound easy. I can't do this by myself, Sharon. Ugh. Not my problem. But I'm your friend, and I'm in trouble. The fact that you think you and I are still friends after that crazy little stunt you pulled at my wedding is plain worrying. Huh? I regret even inviting you. To be honest, I had a bad feeling about it when I was making the invites, but I knew if I didn't, you'd never stop whining at me about it. I sure as hell wouldn't have invited you if I knew this would happen. Oh my god, you're horrible. You only have yourself to blame. No, help me. Goodbye. Sharon! Apparently the messages at the end there were sent from the banquet hall bathroom, where she'd locked herself in after sneaking back into the venue. At that point, Clarissa's life went totally off the rails. She began spending her husband's money like it grew on trees. Before long, her husband Frank had no choice but to confiscate all of her bank cards. I found out later on that he'd given her $300 before the wedding to buy me and my husband a wedding gift. But she spent it on a brand bag and fashion accessories for herself before the ceremony started. After the incident at the wedding and his meeting his wife in the hotel room at my arrangement, Frank did some serious soul-searching. He also decided to hire a private investigator to look into Clarissa's infidelity. Unsurprisingly, it was found that she'd been cheating on him, but my jaw almost hit the floor when I found out how many guys she'd been seeing. Apparently, it was in the double digits. Upon hearing about her despicable behavior, Clarissa was shunned by all of her friends. And her lovers all broke up with her. I don't know if suddenly being totally starved of male attention made her lonely, but apparently she went into the night industry and began making a living selling her body. Last I heard, she's seeing at least 5 different guys a night in a desperate attempt to come up with my compensation. My goodness, Cameron, are you yet again just going to sit in your room all day working?
What is it this time, Mom? Are you really that upset about me working more? My company is currently fine with everything working remotely from home, so I'm going to take advantage of that for as long as I can in order to not pay for gas. And it's not like I'd be doing anything different in the office anyway. All the same work, I'm just doing it from my bedroom.
I do not like that.
You don't like it? Then take it up with the company. And I don't see you working right now, so I don't think you have a right to tell me whether you like the way I work or not.
Are you not aware of what everyone in this neighborhood thinks of you, though?
What? I don't care what they think of me. If they have a problem, then they should tell it to my face when I go out. Honestly, I don't get why you're even worried about what they all think, when you barely even stop to talk with anyone in this neighborhood yourself.
But from here to the bus stop that I walk to is your brother's university.
And?
That means that a lot of the friends that Trent has over live in this area and know who you are. And as far as I'm aware, all of his friends have seen you plenty of times and probably pick on Trent all the time, calling his older brother a neat and such.
Oh, I see. So that's what you think of me now. Well, you seem to be the only one that thinks I'm a neat, Mom. Because Trent has already explained to all his friends that I'm home quite often doing work. And that's why I'm never really leaving my room.
And I feel bad that your little brother has to explain to all of his friends why his older brother is a neat. You really are so self-centered when it comes to things like this, Cameron.
Would you please stop calling me a neat? It's not a nice word to be throwing around. And I can see where this conversation is going now.
If you could at least find yourself a job somewhere where you have to wear a suit every day and go into work, then I might be fine with you staying home every once in a while for work.
Just going into work wearing a suit does not make the job worthwhile to me. And these days, ever since COVID, there have been plenty of companies changing their structure to allow their employees to work remotely.
I understand that you're getting all worried about how people might view me, but this world has changed and nobody is bothered by me working from home. I am your mother, and I just want you to get a job where you actually mean something to this world and make the family look good.
I'm pretty sure I'm making us look good. Considering the kind of salary I'm making and the fact I'm able to give you an allowance of $1,000 every month. And what is it with you always worrying about our appearance? It's very shallow of you, so quit it already. Now I have a meeting coming up here in a few minutes, so I'll need to stop talking with you.
Hey, hold it right there!
Cameron, sorry for asking this so late in the day, but would it be alright if I stay over tonight? Sure, come on over. What's going on today with you? I made a mistake on when some work was due by a whole day. I thought I had another day to work on it, but it's actually going to be due tomorrow. Dang, man. Thank God you realized that it's due tomorrow now before it was too late. You're dang right. I came home to Mom and she started to go off on me again about some petty crap yet again, and I wasn't able to focus on the work at hand. She's always going to be that way, huh? Oh, don't say that like she doesn't affect you too. Originally, I was going to ask one of my friends if I could go over to their place, but all of them have finished their work for this week and going out to party. So I'm in a bit of a pinch and need somewhere to get this work done. Honestly, I wish that I was already done with school and could be on my own. You don't have Mom constantly targeting you with things to complain about, making it so much easier for you to think and live. Well, I won't say that I really have to deal with her as often as you. Even growing up, though, she's always been on you about things, and I wondered why there was such a difference in the way she treated you and I. As I got older and then became an adult that could sustain myself, I started to see the person she really is, deep down. And I have to say, I'm not pleased with her behavior at all. I really wish I was like you. Come on now, Trent. Look, you and I have been working on a plan for a long time now that'll buy you your freedom from her. So as long as you can graduate from your school, then you'll never have to deal with her nagging ever again. You can be as free as me. That's true, I guess. When you first told me about how much you wanted to get away from her, I was shocked. And I'm sorry for getting you all wrapped up in my mess. But the fact that you're helping me out is really appreciated, so thank you. I know you appreciate me. So, what time do you plan on getting here later tonight? Give me another hour and I should be there. Yeah, I'll pick up something to eat from the grocery store on the way home, so you don't have to worry about making me anything. Wasn't going to. But what about breakfast? Can you make up some of your scrambled eggs for me? That stuff always hits the spot. Sounds good. I'll make sure to get up early enough to make some, so don't oversleep. And have a safe trip over here. Sweet! Thanks again for letting me stay over. Cameron, I've done it. Once I've graduated from here, I'll be able to work out on a ranch in Arizona. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, congrats on landing that job. Thanks. Now, I'll go and let Mom know that I got a job offering for your company so that she'll get off my back. I'm sure it'll become a small nightmare for you, but let's just hope everything goes as planned. Sounds good. I'll be ready. Now, you get back to enjoying the remainder of your life as a college student, because after that is where the really hard stuff called life on your own begins. Hey, you kidding me? I still have to finish up my final essay before I graduate, so things are not going to be anywhere near enjoyable for me. Cameron, can I come and stay at your place again? Yeah, alright, come on over. Honestly, you don't even have to ask me anymore.
Cameron, I think it's time I cut ties to you.
What? So we're having another one of these discussions. What happened to you this time that you didn't like?
I'm going to be supported and cared for by your recently graduated little brother from now on, so I no longer need you in my life anymore. I'm sure that you never heard anything about this. But recently Trent was offered a job by that very large company, Streeter & Sons, and so that's where he'll be going to work.
I see.
I know for a fact that at that company he will always be having to go into work wearing a fresh suit every day and will be seen as an elite. Luckily, it's not going to end up being one of those companies like the one you're in where they think it's okay to allow their employees to mess around at home all the time. I always knew that Trent was better than you, and it seems that my strict parenting with him has finally paid off, as we can really tell just how much more amazing he is. It is so pathetic that my older son is losing to his younger brother in life.
I'd like to ask you something, Mom. What would happen if Streeter & Sons ended up being the exact same as the company I work for and encourages their employees to work from home?
What?
That would mean Trent's work style would be the same as mine, and you don't like my style, right? If that ends up being the case, what'll you do to Trent?
I'll force him to leave that job and go somewhere else. But from what I've heard, that company is only hiring the best of the best when it comes to young men. So there's no need to worry about them asking their employees to work remotely. Oh, I am so excited for this next step with Trent leading the way. I want to see what he looks like when he puts on a suit for work every morning. Our conversation became a little derailed there, but now you understand what's going to happen here. I only need myself one son, and that son is the one I can brag about the most. Now that Trent will be making the big bucks within this company, I will no longer require an allowance from you. We're cutting ties now.
Listen, Mom. The job offering that Trent received has been voided now.
What?
Streeter & Sons just so happens to be my company.
Huh? That's where you're working right now?
That's right. Well, actually, I'm the one leading this company, since I'm the CEO of it.
Huh? You're the CEO of that company?
If you're not willing to believe me right now, go onto my company's website and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. There, you will see a picture of my face and a small little introduction of myself.
What is going on here? I never even heard about that.
Told you this 7 years ago, Mom. I told you about how I would be quitting the job I had and starting up my own company.
You started your own company?
At the time, I could tell you weren't listening to a word I said. But the fact that for the past 7 years you still have not noticed that I'm a CEO? I'm pretty surprised by that. Kind of insane when you really think about the fact that I'm your son.
About Trent's job offering being voided.
Now that was something he wanted me to do. So you'll have to go have a word with him about it.
You go and cancel the voiding of his job offering right now!
Excuse me?
That's what I want you to do. I want you to put your brother in as good of a position as you are in right now.
What was that?
Yes. Make him the vice president there, the COO. Heck, you could even give your brother your position and let him be the CEO now. Then that would make his income even more than yours, right?
You're stepping off the deep end now, Mom.
It's his older brother's company after all, so you have to make sure he gets a good job there, right? If you find it hard getting Trent into a very high up position there, then you can start him off with a lower position, but make sure he's making 3 times as much as the rest of his coworkers.
How about you stop telling me what to do with my company, you unemployed rat?
What?
If I became some sort of corrupt CEO that began to favor my little brother over everyone else in this company, I'd be removed from this seat.
But, this is Trent we're talking about here.
And like I said, You are far from any position where you're allowed to tell me what to do with my company. And as I was saying, Trent asked for the job offer to be voided as he has other plans now.
What?
And so, I'm doing my job as his older brother and respecting what he's asked for.
You can't do that to him, though. You're going to turn your little brother into a NEET, just like you.
I'm sorry, but didn't I tell you to stop using that word? Also, he is an adult now and has the right to make whatever choices he wants regarding his own life. I'm getting a bit annoyed by this conversation now, so I'll be going.
Hold on a second, Cameron. Trent, big problem. Streeter and Sons, the company that you got that job offer from, happens to be your older brother's company.
What? I already know that, Mom.
What?
Why wouldn't I already know something like that? He's my older brother, and that's the company he started 7 years ago.
Well then this whole thing about the job offering you were given being voided?
You want to ask about that? Well, I'd spoken with Cameron about this a while ago, but his company happened to be second on my list of companies I wanted to join. I didn't want to end up not finding a job after college, and so I kind of asked him to put in a good word for me at the HR department. So after telling his HR lead they were willing to give me an offering for a position, well, there. But when I was later offered a job at the company I wanted to join the most, I told Cameron it was okay to go ahead and void the offering.
Oh, is that so? Oh, then this must mean your number one company is an even better one, right?
Not really. I'm going to be joining a small family ranch out in Arizona, like I'd always wanted to do.
A ranch?
Look, I understand that someone like me always seems like the kind of person who would love to just sit around at an office job all day, but yeah, I've actually always loved the idea of becoming a cowboy. I've already found myself some housing out there and sent most of my things.
Since when did you do all of that?
You don't have to worry about me anymore. I made sure to have Dad co-sign on the place for me since I'm still young and don't have much of a credit score yet.
What? Your dad? Trent, where did you end up finding your dad's phone number?
I was told what his number is by Cameron, although it took a little bit of convincing on his end to do so.
What?
I've actually been talking with Dad, ever since you and him had that divorce a while back. You not know anything about that? I swear I'd told you.
What the heck?
So I'm not sure why you're acting all speechless now, but that's what's happened so far. So I'll be moving out of your place now, heading out to Arizona to start my job.
Trent!
Arizona is pretty far away from here, so I probably won't be coming back here very often, if not at all. So enjoy yourself, Mom.
Trent! Oh, this can't be happening. You have to find yourself a job where you'll be making a lot of money and wearing a suit into work every day. I believed that you'd never end up like the person your older brother is. Oh. Trent, please! Respond to me, please! Cameron, whatever happened to this month's allowance from you?
Excuse me?
You've always sent me my $1,000 into my bank account by this time today. I just had a look at my bank account and there's still been no money from you.
You told me you don't need my money anymore.
Ugh.
Also, you cut ties to me a month ago, so what's all this about? Honestly, I just forgot to block your number. So I'll be handling that right now.
Wait a sec, Cameron!
Goodbye forever.
Cameron!
Well, back when my mom was talking with my little brother about his job, he was already boarding his plane to Arizona. The fact that her son, who she put so much effort into raising, was leaving her and going outside of her plan really set her off in a panic. One of the days I went into my office for a meeting, she followed me in with the intent of forcing me to tell her where he was working now. But I just told her that I didn't know. She believed me. My mom actually doesn't even know that my brother and I are very close to one another, and we tell each other everything. Thinking that she was going to be living off favorite son from now on, my mom quit her part-time job entirely and was ready. But because Trent ran away from her, and she had already cut ties with me, she was forced to go back to that store and ask her manager to start working full-time. However, the manager found it way too funny that she had just quit and was already back to asking for work again and told her to go look somewhere else. This ended up destroying whatever pride she had left in herself, and she began searching for an old folks' home to move into. She's not found a place that'll take her yet, so she had better hurry up and find one soon, or else she's gonna become homeless. But I'm not gonna step in if that doesn't end up happening, as I'm no longer her son to her, but just another stranger, judging her from the outside. Thanks for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.